Pero ¿quién les preguntó? Best decision I made. I'm going too quick. Hi, hello guys. Hey friends, today we're gonna get ready and I'm gonna talk about how I got recruited into my sorority when I was in college, and also I'm gonna show you how to do wing eyeliner with a marker. Let's get started. So first, let me go ahead and not pick up my hair, but I'm gonna clip it back because I have a fan on, because girl, it gets hot in here. So my house only has one little AC thingy and it's in the living room. So a veces no llega el aire hasta mi cuarto and I'm like dying of air. And then with the lights on, like, it just gets hotter. So I'm gonna put these on because the fan is hitting this way. I also just made a coffee. I'm not gonna lie, girls, I slept in today. It is 2:54 y apenas me estoy arreglando.
Pero ¿quién les preguntó?
I'm gonna do everything quick, like my actual like face and stuff. That way I could just talk to you guys and tell you about like the story and everything. And then when we get to the eyeliner, I can't talk as much because obviously like my hands are gonna be to my face and it's just not gonna help. Voy a salir toda choca con mi eyeliner. So let's get started. Again, I went to college in, well, I don't even think I told y'all when I left. I think I told y'all when I graduated, but I left for college in 2016. August is when I started college, and I went to University of North Texas. Best decision I made. I wanted to get away from San Antonio just to try new things, and my mom was very encouraging about it, especially because I got the opportunity on a full ride, and she was like, go. Like, there was even a point. Well, okay, I'm going too quick. So I left and my first semester was pretty chill. I was trying to get used to like not being at home and away from family because it was always my mom, me, my little sister, and my little brother, and I was trying to get used to that, right? And at the same time, like, working on the campus, which I'm thankful for, and also just the classes I was taking. Like, it's college, it's super different from high school. Like, girl, you gotta do the work which honestly you're told 24/7. And my English is not the best, like my writing, I'm always misspelling shit. I don't know, I guess just because, you know, Spanish was our first language. I think you can't even tell sometimes that I speak Spanish or that it was my first language, but when it came to writing like my papers and stuff, girl, it was hard. So I had to go to the writing lab to like get my papers checked and stuff because those professors be grading harsh. But thankfully I did good. So that was my first semester, and like I was trying to adjust to like what my sleeping schedule was. And I had two other roommates, which, Maria, I love you. If you're watching my videos, you're still my favorite roommate. Dorm wise, right? Because I had other roommates at houses and I love you guys too. But yeah, it was me, Maria, and someone else that randomly got placed with us. And yeah, I just got along a lot more with Maria. So, but Maria would leave on weekends and I was just there kind of. I did meet some people at the dorms. I just didn't really like clicked so much with them. So I tried other stuff and whatever. Now let's get into how. I want to say this was during the week. Yeah, it was during the week because Maria was there, and we went to go have lunch at Kerr Hall. So that's one of the dorms that has a cafeteria inside. So we went to go have lunch, and I want to say we both had a class right after. So we left, we were walking to our classes, and if I remember correctly, she had already gone her way because she had business and I had like somewhere else further, and her business building was like closer to the cafeteria. So then I kept walking and I had to walk through the, oh my god, I forgot what it's called. It's basically like kind of like a middle circle near our main library, and I was just walking and someone came up to me. Her name is one of my sorority sisters now, right? It was Melissa. She like stopped me and she was like, hey, would you like to know about like our sorority, or like have you ever heard of us? And I was like, no. And like she started talking to me about it, and I was like, oh, they look nice. If you didn't notice, I got my brows done. They look clean now. I look like a boy with my brows all bushy. And she was like, oh, okay, so this is like about us. And she just started telling me like their values and like what they focus on and like their colors and this and that. And like it really caught my attention. Mind you, this was like already, I want to say, so I started in August. This might have been in September, if I remember correctly, because so we weren't so far in the semester, but we had already been there for a couple weeks. So when I first got there, like the first week, they have this thing called Flight Week. During Flight Week, they kind of have like a lot of tabling, orgs kind of promoting themselves, resources, so that freshmen know what's out there for them. And there was already an org that had approached me, and like it just didn't catch my attention. So I like listen to them, you know, be kind, take in what they're sharing with you, because they're taking time out of their day to like talk about their org, you know. But it just didn't interest me enough to like keep up with them or to reach out to them again, to where when Melissa approached me, I was like, oh dang, like I want to know a little bit more about them. Like I want to know what they do, like what their members are like, and like what their interests are, and how they can how I can benefit from it. Because in reality, like, you're in college, I've always been someone where I'm like, if I'm gonna do something, like, what am I benefiting out of it? Because it's time out of your like life, your day, that you're committing to something. And honestly, like, I was really set on graduating. Like, I was the first of my siblings to leave, and like I was like, I don't want nothing to distract me, I don't want nothing to hold me back from completing my school. So if I'm gonna be a part of something, like, I have to benefit from it. And also, like, how are they gonna benefit from me? So I automatically, like, I thought she was super kind, like how she approached me, how she like shared everything. And she was like, we have a, how can I not remember, bro? I have bad memory. I'm trying to remember what these are called. What are they called? Give me 1 second, let me text someone. I'm like,
Girl,
you did not graduate that long ago. What is taking you so long? Okay, so basically it's called MGC Showcase. So MGC Showcase is where all the orgs within the council, which my organization is part of, the Multicultural Council, MGC. Right? Multicultural Greek Council, MGC. That's the council my sorority was a part of. So she's like, yeah, you should come out to the MGC Showcase. And I was like, oh, what is that? And sure, like, I'll go, but like, what is it? And not that I had plans, girl. I'm telling y'all, my first semester, I didn't do nothing. Like, I tried to avoid being out and about. I was so scared of like failing. I wanted to get used to everything first. And when she told me about it, I was like, yeah, for sure. And like, I don't know if I told Maria about it. I think I told her I was going, because I knew that she left on weekends. So I was gonna go by myself. And I knew that, and I was okay with it. I was like, ah, whatever, like, no one knows anyone, whatever. So I went, and y'all, like, I think I like after, so basically an MGC Showcase, every frat, every sorority in MGC, they do like a little performance. And they also, their president, mainly their president, sometimes they have other representatives that like talk about their org, gain what they've learned and how they can help them, or if they're interested, where they can find us. And we also do a call. So a call is basically like a chant that your organization does to identify themselves. And then we also do a performance. Some orgs stroll and some orgs do like a dance. My sorority, I think even when I went to go watch them before I was a part of them, they've done a dance. And I think what caught my attention from them, like off the bat, I'm someone who's like, if it doesn't look clean, if it doesn't look put together, my personality is like, messiness stresses me out. Like, my eye, like, if there's too much going on for me, like, I just can't I don't have, LOL, I sound like I have OCD. I don't have OCD, but like, I like cleanness. Like, first impressions are always big for me, just for many reasons. Like, there's always a time and place for things, and I think they chose very great how to present themselves. If I remember correctly, when I went to go see them, the girls are sorority sisters now. The girls that were not performing were all dressed in like business casual, so they were wearing some type of form of slacks in black and I think pink. I'm trying to remember, because remember, this was like August 2016, possibly September 2016. I'm like, girl, si apenas me acuerdo lo que comí ayer, girl, no, I'm trying my best. So I was like, oh, I like that. And their performance too, like, I like the way they like presented themselves. I like the music they chose. Like, they just really caught my attention. Mind you, there was other orgs too that I really caught my attention, but I was set on going to see the one I originally went, which was Kappa Delta Chi, the sorority that I'm now a part of, and we're recruiting. So after presenting and like after every org does their thing, they tell you what room you can find them in to kind of know a little bit more about them, because there is a rush week for every org. It happens after MGC showcase, like that week following. Every org has a week to like have their events, talk about who they are, invite people, get to know, like, if just basically have interest to like people who want to be a part of their org go out and like learn about them. I'm gonna use a dry sponge because I'm too lazy to get up, girl. So I went to their informational, which again is after showcase, and they again tell you like what their rush week is gonna look like and like requirements. A lot of orgs are different, so I'm not gonna go into exactly what my orgs were because they're different. And when I left, I really had to consider like if I had the time for it my freshman year, and like again, like you're committing to something where other people are too, so you have to consider like the time you're putting in, they're putting in. And honestly, like I think I just had made up my mind right when I was there at the informational that I did want to rush for them. One thing I remember that happened was, at least for my org, remember every org is different, they don't allow first-time freshmen in their first semester to rush for them. So basically I would have had waited until January of my first year, so my second semester, spring semester, to rush for them, to go to their rush week and rush. So that kind of also really made me feel more comfortable, because again, my first semester, like I just wanted to focus on my grades. I just wanted to focus on like feeling better being at that campus and like away from home. So that gave me that semester, and I really appreciate that, and I like that about them. So I had just made up my mind that for sure that was the org that if I wanted to try something new and get out there and be involved, like it was the perfect org for me, so that my first semester I could establish myself on the campus and like find out other things and all that, right? So it just worked out. It worked out that they didn't let freshmen rush that first semester, but at least I was able to get to know them. And after that event, I actually met some people, some of them actually now my actual sorority sisters that had gone and were interested as well. So that was nice. Because when I went back the second semester, they did as well, and like you knew someone, like a familiar face, you know? So it just worked out. I highly encourage that, even if for me it worked out, right? For me it worked out that like I went to the informational, I waited to the second semester, I was still set in stone that I wanted to rush for them. You don't have to have the same, like, I guess, experience as I did. Everyone's different. You might not like the first org you go see, you might not click with the people that are a part of that org, and that's totally fine. Like that's basically the, I'm like, where's my face brush? That's basically the point of like MGC showcase. That's the point, at least at my university. Remember, this is my university, it's different everywhere. That's the point of rush week. Like this is where you get to know them and see what is best for you, because remember, you're at school. That's what's first, that's what comes first. And some things that really stuck with me, at least for my org, is they're very set on academics and volunteering and committing and organization. So I really like that about them, and I knew it was gonna help me, and I knew that I was gonna fit in perfectly. And like some people, obviously it's a bunch of girls, so there's bound to be like different personalities, there's bound to be different opinions, which that's life. Like that's gonna be at work, that's gonna be anywhere. It's not just gonna be at like a sorority, it could be any organization that that's gonna happen at. But for them, that's mainly what caught my attention. Again, it might not be the same experience for you, but some things I would tell you is, if your school does like MGC showcase or does MGC week or any type of Greek week, any type of Greek exposure, go to as much as you can if you're considering it. Maybe just run into one or like, what if you run into one org, like get to know them. If you run into a different one, go and get to know them. Like show your interest, and also try to gain as much about them for yourself. So like learn about them before you make up your mind. Because my experience doesn't have to be yours. Thankfully, I ran into someone who shared very good things about their org and like very well, and then I attended an event that just caught my attention, and like I was just set on getting to know them a little bit more. And when I went to the informational, I just had made up my mind, you know? Mind you, the second semester, they still had another showcase, so I still went, and I still left with the idea of wanting to rush them, like, you know, so like I had time to think about it. It wasn't just like after that I was for sure gonna rush for them. Like, there's a lot of things that a lot of orgs change every semester, so it's always good to keep that in mind. Just think about it, like, take time to process it. These are people you're gonna be around majority of your college undergrad years, and there's so many things that you'll like gain from it, so many things you'll give back to the org itself. It's definitely something to consider and not just kind of make a quick decision about. So when I went back for my second semester, another thing was, at the end of my first semester, like, I literally wanted to move back home. Like, I did not want to be in Denton. Like, I was looking at schools to transfer to here in San Antonio. I just was like, I don't know, like, it just, now I'm happy that I didn't, but I was set on making it happen. I think being away from my family, because it was always me, my mom, my sister, I was like, oh my god, like, it was kind of hitting me, right? I literally was like begging my mom at this point, I want to move back, like, no. And my mom was like, no, like, you're not gonna do it. She's like, you have a full scholarship, like, they're paying your tuition, like, where are you gonna find that? And I was like, I was kind of upset at her for not, I felt like she wasn't listening to me, but high key, like, I like, thanks to my mom, like, I didn't do that, you know. And I even remember, like, coming back my second semester, my mom drove me from, I think it was Laredo, we were at Laredo, yeah, she was already living in Laredo, to Dallas. And when we got to the bus, because we drove my car, when we got to the bus in Dallas, my mom was gonna take it back to Laredo. I dropped her off basically, and y'all, like, I had like that Kim Kardashian cry, because bro, like, I did not want to go back. Like, I was set on moving back to San Antonio and like transferring to university there or whatever. And I remember my mom like getting off, she just, it was like some movie shit, like, she looked back, like, I was bawling. So she comes back, so she was just like, don't cry, like, it's just school, like, she was just trying to like comfort me, you know. Which I'm super grateful that my mom didn't let me move back, because I feel like that would have been a very big regret in my life for me personally. Like, after my second semester, going back and committing to actually making myself involved is what really saved me, which is why I say my org is the reason I stayed and the reason like I ended up enjoying most of my college time there. I was like, you know what, that's another thing that's like very different for me. In high school, I was like always involved, always on the campus. I was always busy, work or school or with my mom, my family. And over here it was just me. Like, I had to learn how to it's just me, and like, I guess like make myself involved again. It was for sure setting me that I was gonna go to MGC showcase. And yeah, I went. After the informational, I was super ready, super excited to get the process going, like rush week, and getting to know them. It was a big, you know, decision to make, because it's a big commitment, but it was worth it. That spring semester was one of the funnest semesters of my life. I'm not gonna lie. Probably most stressful one as well. No, actually I'm lying. Not the most stressful one. The most different, but most, it was like the most different, but I guess like memorable and fun. Like, it was just like, I knew that I made the right decision to listening to my mom and going back my spring semester. After going to the MGC showcase and going to the informational, rush week began. And again, every rush week is different for every org, so make sure you learn about that and what the process is, or what the requirements are for their rush week, because again, every org is different. So I don't want to tell you specifically my org, because it might be different at different schools as well. So like, some schools might have my org as well, like a chapter there, but their process might be different, their requirements might be different, because every university is different. So at least for mine, it was a week long. I did have to attend 3 events of their rush week, which again comes after MGC showcase. I definitely did that and more, because I was trying to get to know them and like see who they really were, and again, how they would benefit from me and how I would benefit from them. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember exactly who I spoke to at these rush events. I just remember they were like enjoyable. I got to know people, and it brought me out of my shell again of like putting myself out there. So I really like that, which is why I was like, you know what, this definitely is the org that I need to go with. So make sure that when you go to these events, spread your time out. If you're still deciding between 2, 3, if you have the time for it, girl, go for it. Attend as many as you can. At least for me, I was set on this one and I was like, I need to go to like the required amount or maybe more and get to know them. And after rush week, there's like a whole different process, and that's if you know you're accepted after rush week. It's like an invitation to rush for them, and that's when everything changed. Yeah, after that I was like it was a different life for me, which I'm very grateful for. Again, like that semester was the semester that made me stay. Mainly my mom is why I went back, and my sorority having me be involved, and like the people I met, the sisters I have now, the relationships I have now, like they're the reason I stayed for the rest of my undergrad years. So now that we're done with going a little bit about like how I got recruited and how I started, we're gonna do the eyeliner now that we're done with the rest of the face. All I did was foundation, setting powder. I did concealer because look at those girls. Setting powder, and then I did bronzer, blush. Now that we've gone over how I got recruited for my sorority and how that kind of looked like for me making that decision, I'm gonna go into doing my eyeliners. This one came in my Ipsy bag, my July. So my August one is coming soon, and I'll go over that one when it gets here. But this is the one I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be using the black, the liquid pen, Shades by Shan, the liquid pen. When I first started off doing eyeliner, I did not use this. I used to use Wet n, or I still use, not used to, girl. This is my go-to actually. Wet n Wild Mega Liner, but this one's a liquid one, so it's different, and it comes with a little brush. Brushes look different in every type of liquid eyeliner that you use, but this is the type that I learned from and the one that I first started with when I first started using eyeliner, which I want to say was my freshman year in high school. Shout out to my mom because she let me wear makeup freshman year. And now I'm gonna do the pen because sometimes it's easier, it's cleaner. The only thing that sucks is like it might dry faster. So for me, like I have a fan hitting me right here because you already know I'm gonna start sweating if I don't have a fan up in here. Let's get started. I'm gonna try to show you how I do it and what helps me and why it's easy for me to do it. It might not work for you, or if you want to share with me like videos that you've seen that have made it easy for you, send them to me or like post them on the comments so that I could watch them, because girl, we could learn something new. So first, I'm gonna try to get as close as I can to you guys. I am gonna bring a mirror close to me, so I usually put one like here. Basically what I do, I still have one eye, which is good. Basically what I do is I do one line up to create the like foundation of how high I want it to go. If I want it to be up, if I want it to be more straight. I try to aim towards my brow. Obviously it's not like perfect, but I try. I'm like, don't bring out a ruler, girl. I'm like, I try. And then I connect it to my eyelid, and then I make the line on my eyelid to connect the wing. I'm gonna do it to this one again. I do a line up first, try to aim towards my eyebrow. I bring in the wing to connect it to my eyelid, and then I make a line on my eyelid to connect the wing to the eyelid. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna draw a map. No, I'm kidding. I'm trying to show you though, so at least that's how I learn. I'm like, I don't know if I'm a good teacher. Okay, I zoom in for you guys so that you could get this eye. Okay, so we do the wing. We're gonna connect it now to our eye. All right, now that we connected it, we're gonna do the eyelid, like the line. All right, so now that we connected it, it looks like a little like color in type of thing. And obviously this one's colored in and this one's not. So now we're gonna try and color it in without like adding too much to it. I'll take those lines. All right, I'm like, do they look the same? Don't lie to me, girl. I think they look the same. Oh, they're pretty good. Okay, so again, fix them if you feel like you see something. I feel like I see something and you probably can't see it in the camera, so it just depends how close you get. I get close with a little mirror. It doesn't have anything anymore. It's like an old elf one. I see that I want to fix up something. I think I might pull it down, so whenever you have something on your eyeliner, I'm gonna pull it down, because if you pull it up, you're then gonna have to clean out here. So pull it down to your eye to where it's easier to clean it. I think I like how it looks now. I used to do eyeliner a lot more, and now I think I'm getting into doing it again. Liquid eyeliner, I'll do like a different video. It is a lot different. I feel like it's harder, but that's the one I learned with, and that's this way. How I did it is how I do it with that one. So I think because I learned how to do it with the liquid eyeliner, it was easier for me to do it with the marker eyeliner, hopefully. And you can find, you don't have to use this one. Like, there's so many at drugstores. I think I've used like a Maybelline one. I've used, I wonder which, I think I used to use a Maybelline one a lot. HEB, Target, Walgreens, they have so many marker eyeliners. Like, girl, go get like the cheapest one and you could do the same thing. Like, you don't have to use a super expensive one. It just might be different. Like, some of them might just smudge here, they might smudge here, so you have to find the one that works for you. Because I am someone who gets like hot super fast, so your girl like could sweat easily, and I don't like when I start seeing my eyeliner like smudging here or here. I'm gonna finish off the rest because I'm just gonna be at home today, so I think I'm just gonna add regular mascara. I'm like, I don't know, or I'm gonna put on lashes. So, but let me finish my face. Hopefully you learn how to do eyeliner and this was helpful. Y'all, Mika, I had to let her, she does not get on my bed anymore, but I had to let her in here because my neighbor is out. She's like hella barking and she's loud, so I'm like, just come in the room and get on the bed. I put on lip gloss and lashes. I didn't put on much else because I'm just gonna be at home today, but I did want to show you guys how to do the eyeliner with some marker, and I hope I don't want Frida to start barking, so I put her on my lap. So that's Miss Girl. And I wanted to mainly show you guys how to do her trying to make an appearance. I put on I really wanted to show you how to put on eyeliner, a marker eyeliner specifically. We might try the liquid one later. And if you're going to college and you are considering rushing for some type of sorority, that was the process of how I got recruited, and like the process for my sorority, Kappa Delta Chi, and MGC, which is a multicultural Greek council. Again, there's a lot of different councils, there's a lot of different sororities, so one of them's trying to recruit you. Just try to get to know them, because it doesn't mean you have to rush for them, and it doesn't mean you even have to go Greek, but if you're looking to like get involved, get to know them, put yourself in a situation where like you are gonna go out there and get to know them, and they're gonna go out there and get to know you. Hopefully that helps. Now, my rush experience is totally different. I just went over what my recruitment looked like for me and how they recruited me, and like what my process was of recruitment with them. And then again, being a part of a sorority was also totally different. We're gonna close out the video here today, and thank you guys for watching, and liking and sharing, whatever, subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now Miss Girl, be like, who are you talking to? Thank you, friends. Have a good week.